Hey folks, I'm here for another episode on my YouTube channel. This is a full moon juicy episode, so stay tuned. Where do I start? I kind of fixed my light in here as well. It's not too bad. So we have the full moon in Gemini on the 4th of December at 13 degrees and 3 seconds. So if you have any planets, personal planets, close to 13 degrees, either side of the mutable energies, so that's Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, um, you will you will be affected by this full moon, basically. But just forget that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just ignore what I've just said. And this full moon is happening 11:13 p.m. GMT time. This is English time, so do check your time zone. And I'm getting this out on time for you. So I always have like a last minute rush and gotta, oh, I've got to record the forecast for you. And I have problems with the lighting, but it's not too bad in here with my spotlight going on. So straight away, what I feel is really interesting is Gemini is that mutable air. It's all about ideas. It's all about innovation. Gemini rules the hands and arms. So it's very much about self-expression as well. Like, how are you expressing yourself in the world? How are you, um, how is your inner world reflected through your words, through your expressions, literally as well how you dress. I realized this when I went through a hippie phase of like years ago when I first kind of found, I won't say found this path, but was more on this conscious path. I like got rid of so much out my wardrobe, and it was almost this idea that if I was spiritual, and I'm laughing now, that I couldn't be materialistic as well, which is BS. And I've come full circle, like studying fashion and being like knowing that self-expression and clothes are literally your identity. It's like how you express your inner world. And I'm really vibing the bright colors again because it's just what makes me feel good. Um, so it is this theme of self-expression, and because it's a full moon, it's going to illuminate where you're not expressing yourself fully, where you're maybe holding back a truth, where you're not saying the thing that is uncomfortable, that could make others uncomfortable. Because Gemini, this energy comes through with a real like restless quality to it. Gemini, if somebody's got like strong Gemini in their chart, they tend to be quite anxious or nervous people. They're very much, overthinking, overanalyzing. And this is the air energy that we're in, which loves to float ideas around. And that's, the light side of Gemini is this real playful curiosity, mercurial side that is like moving between worlds. If we think of Gemini, it's the twins, it's the twin in this world and also connected with the twin from another realm. So there's this real lightness, there's this real um swiftness of Gemini, of quick thinking, quick wit, quick intelligence. You'll know what I'm speaking about if you have this kind of energy quite prominent in your chart. And it's funny because I always feel I'm drawn to people that have like that are quite airy, because as somebody that is very, I've got a lot of fire and earth in me. I don't have a lot of air in my chart. Okay, so you will have all four elements in your chart. And obviously, if you want to dive deeper, you can book an astrology reading with me to explore that. But we tend to go to gravitate to the other elements where we may be not so dominant in it. So with my fire, I find that the air, those people that kind of question and probe deeper, helps my creativity to be to expand and to kind of think outside the box a bit more. Because my fire just wants to take action. And so that air sign loves to pick things over and really explore them in depth. And Gemini points to, where are we natural teachers? You're, even if you're not a teacher, you are a teacher of certain subjects that light you up. Like, how can you bring that medicine into your life more? This playful curiosity. And it's really helpful because as we move towards winter, the depths of winter, energy can feel heavy. We can feel like, we want to cozy up and cocoon. And, now we're in that Sagittarius energy, which is a polarity of Gemini, the bigger vision, the striving towards the vision, the goal. And so with this full moon, we're in those two energies. The Gemini is wanting to like question things and kind of roll it around in the mind, maybe like overanalyze. That's the shadow of Gemini. It's almost the anxiety can stop us doing things in Gemini. It can actually stop us creating the things that are good to go. And it's like that Sagittarius arrow is going, okay, well, it's time to move forwards. It's time to kind of have that blind faith, which can be a shadow of Sagittarius. But also on the light side of Sagittarius, it's like, right, we've got the vision. Let's go. Let's take the next step. Let's leap into the unknown. While Gemini is asking all those questions. So we need both. And at this full moon, it's a real time of going, okay, how are you expressing yourself? And where are you filtering your truth? Where are you, holding back something because it's uncomfortable, because it's going to stir something up in somebody and make them feel uncomfortable. But ultimately, it needs to be expressed. So that is kind of like a key theme of this full moon. Um, yeah, there's a real mercurial energy there, and Mercury's strong at the moment because it's also, no, it's not. There's a depth to this full moon. Mercury is currently in Scorpio, which means there's an emotional depth to our expression, to our self-expression. So whatever you're speaking or creating, there's an ability to dig deeper into the core of something, the essence of something, like the soul of something, connecting with the soul of your creation. And we also, our mind will be expanded because we're in Gemini, but we also might be thrown off by, our brain wanting to rebel in some way, our brain wanting to throw a spanner in the works. So if you go into like a pattern of like overthinking or like neurosis, I can't say that word, neurosis, you get a bit neurotic. What is that neuroticism wanting to teach you? What does it need? Because all these parts of us, whether we see them as shadow or light, they all are. Like every part of you, no part of you is wrong. No feeling is wrong. It's all to be felt. And this is a journey I'm on about really feeling it all because that's how you move out of victim consciousness when your ego is trying to spiral into, you know, sabotage the creation that you want to make a reality or whatever it is you're creating, it's bringing it back to what is the soul of this creation. Um, yeah. And then, it was still, we've got some trines in the chart, which is really helping us dig deeper. It's like our ideas at this time can be really revolutionary and revolutionary in the sense of for the highest good of humanity. So those inspired ideas that you're receiving, listen to them because those inspired ideas, those ideas that are moving through you, that are from your soul, from your intuition, have an ability to bring deep healing, hold space for deep transformation. So, I really, really learning is like I'm stepping up even more into service this year. And when our ego is like, oh, but what if I'm humiliated? What if this thing doesn't come, doesn't happen, doesn't come together in the way I wanted it to? It's not about you. It's about the higher purpose. It's about you being a channel for your soul to be an expression. And when you follow those ideas that like light you up, that like turn you on, that is where you're in your magic. That is where you're in your true creative genius. That is where you are a vessel for something higher to come in. You are in your power from that place, not from external validation, but from being deeply rooted in who you are and your depth, the deep soul. It's like basically things that are going to be revolutionary. I can see this in the collective are coming from a place of deep soul. And when I see the deep soul, I mean the deepest part of you. What does that, if you could just let go of any external outcomes and you followed this deeper part of you, this soul part of you, what would you absolutely love to create? And imagine you were just doing that for fun. You were just doing it because it lit you up. You didn't have to worry about the outcome. What would you create? Because that's very different to creating from, I'm going to create this thing so I bring in the money. And that's been a journey. And the moment I'm dreaming something up, which feels very exciting and out of my depth as well, is the words are coming to me. It's like unraveled, unravel. And it's going to be like a container. I feel like it's going to be a 6 month container for people that really want to go deep and to go into the shadows, but to also, expand your light. Because, of course, when you do the shadow work, your light gets brighter. Your magnetism, is bolder. You become more whole. You are more of your true self because you know your shadows and you know your light. Um, so yeah, I want to speak to that. And almost there's like a what was coming through to me before I got on this was this thing of being seen, taking up space. I see so many people, and it's something that I've struggled with, is taking up space as maybe a more sensitive soul, more introverted soul. Like, how do we navigate that? How do we take up space when it maybe feels out of our comfort zone? And ultimately, it comes in allowing yourself to be really vulnerable. And taking up space is a practice. It really is not like one day you're like, oh, I'm fine with taking up space. The more I show up online, the more I share my truth and like my real truth that's unfiltered, the more confident I feel in taking up space because it feels real to me. I'm not trying to deny parts of me or ignore parts of me. I'm showing up in the truth of me. Because ultimately, the thing that sets you free is that you don't have to hide anything about you, right? Let that sink in. You don't have to hide anything about you, no emotion, no part of you. Because when you can embrace all the parts of you and speak about them and share them, people see you're real. People see you're human, and you reflect back to them these parts that they maybe have so much judgment and shame around, right? So allow yourself to be unfiltered in whatever way that is. And as we're in Gemini, this is very much about communication as well. This is how we're communicating. Um, and it's helping us draw a line in the sand. What ways do we want to stop communicating? Maybe there's a way that you're communicating that doesn't feel good for you. You're passive aggressive or you're being vague and in what you're asking for. Be clear. What is it you really want? What is it you desire in life? First ask that question and then pour your energy into that because there is no other way. Like that is the path of creativity. And I'm gonna burst your bubble here because I realize that I've been stuck in this for so long is when you're trying to control outcomes, when you're trying to control the course, the offer, the workshop that you would love to create, when you're trying to control it, that is not creativity. That is coming from your ego. When you're in real creativity, creativity is receptive. It's fluid. The idea comes and then it goes and it flows. And essentially, you're focused on following those nudges from your intuition. It's not about having an action plan. The ego loves an action plan. Trust me, my control freak Capricorn energy wants a plan, but it doesn't work. I feel like this 6 month container already is kind of coming together. I've written some notes around it. It feels like such a big step to me. Like I've never done a group container that's 6 months long. And it's what is coming through me. And to deny that is to not trust my soul, right? And I'm not saying you act on every idea. That's a whole nother thing of discernment. But it's like, if this thing is truly coming through you from your higher self, from your soul, that needs to be birthed in the world, right? And you following that is you being of service, you being committed to your purpose in the world, even when you don't know the outcome. You have to be vulnerable to the process. So that's what I feel like the essence of this full moon is. Yeah, but there's a real depth to our imagination and to our ideas here. And it can feel dreamy, like we're kind of lost in a lot of ideas, but stick with it and keep reminding yourself to come back to what is really stirring in the deepest part of you. And this doesn't come from thinking. That idea will maybe arrive from a meditation. It's when you're in a still state, that idea will simmer away, will come up to the surface and let that really allow that to surface because that is meant to be born through you. There's no way around it, right? So to leave you with this Gemini energy is forward moving, it's quick-witted, and it's rolling with the idea instead of getting stuck in indecision and anxiety, which I know a lot of you, myself included, have struggled with. But here's the thing, when we're indecisive, that's a protective mechanism because a part of you is worried to choose in case you get it wrong. But you can't get it wrong because what is meant for you, you will you will just follow that path and it will evolve. So when you've got that idea and you don't know what to do next, just ask, what is the next obvious step for me to take? And then what's the next step? And you keep asking that. And that is how you stay in vulnerability. That is how you stay connected to your soul's expression. And this is very much the essence of this full moon is like not letting that anxiety stop you in your tracks. And it's not about fixing the anxiety, it's about being with that anxiety, knowing it has a place, allowing it, and then going, what would I love? You don't need to fix or resolve the anxiety, but you can move forwards with the anxiety, with the fear, and moving with these parts is how we stay connected. So that is what I have for you guys. If you're curious about this 6 month container, oh, it's going to be so juicy. It's going to be, I'm getting unraveled truth. That's the word that's coming to me. And there's going to be a lot of teachings. Basically, I'm going to go through the archetypes of the zodiac. So there's going to be going into the themes of the archetypes, exploring that in your own chart to really know yourself so deeply and so intimately. Because I really believe when we know ourselves, that's when we take our power back. That's when we can, when we see the shadows, our light becomes brighter. And that's where we just are naturally living from our creative genius all the time. It's just an organic part of that process. So let me know if you're curious about knowing more and I can keep you on a list. And do let me know what is stirring up at this full moon for you. Let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing your feedback, like what's resonating with you from this episode, from this forecast. Do let me know. And sending you such blessings, my dears. Bye.